Hello everyone, I'm Schlock, and welcome to my Sekiro DLC speculation/discussion. I just want to preface this video by clearly stating there are massive spoilers ahead. This video will contain details from throughout Sekiro's story and the interactions between characters, as well as the endings and lore from the item descriptions to the sake dialogue to normal dialogue that all culminate to what I believe may be the future DLC, if there even is one, or what I would really like to see, as I think what I'm about to talk about as a concept is really awesome. As another preface, I am heavily biased towards Feudal Japan games, as I love the setting and dynamics. As such, I've already completed Sekiro 8 times and am pezzing for some more content, despite the fact that there may be no DLC at all, as none has been confirmed. However, I would love some, and as such is why I'm making this video. As a final preface, as with any other discussion or speculation video, I'm bound to miss things. Intricate details that allude to other things that may prove my theories or thoughts incorrect. These are bound to exist within this video. If I do miss something, please let me know in the comment section below, as any more insight to this compelling story is much appreciated. This video is going to be a bit of a mess in terms of discussion and speculation, as I've had a lot of observations during my many playthroughs. So with that out of the way, let's get into things. Let's begin with my contention. Those of you who don't know what that is, it's essentially a statement that summarizes my thoughts and beliefs that the rest of the piece, or in this case a video, will also convey and provide evidence for. I both hope and think that the DLC for Sekiro will be similar to the Old Hunters DLC of Bloodborne. However, whilst I don't think that they will be similar in gameplay, I think some story elements will overlap within Sekiro's DLC. In terms of story elements, I think they will be similar in a sense. I think the DLC will focus on the founders of the Ashina clan, such as Isshin and the unseen but heavily mentioned Master Dogen, the foster father of Emma and the creator of the Shinobi prosthetic, which was initially intended to be wielded by the sculptor after Isshin severed his left arm just as he was being consumed by Shura. Similarly to how the founders of the healing trails were present in the Old Hunters DLC, and we saw what became of them and the consequences of their actions. To finish off my contention, I believe that you will play as the sculptor, or the orangutan as Emma calls him.
私の古い友ならば、その頃のこと、何か覚えているかもしれません。あれ寺で症状と会ってきます。症状？仏師殿の古い名です。
Or you may play as Isshin in his uprising to become one of the strongest men in the Sengoku period. And you would access this DLC through the Kind Buddha, which is used to travel to memories, such as the Hirata estate, where you relive the memories of the wolf. Let's have a talk about Shura real quick. Shura is described as being enraptured. They kill solely for the joy it brings them. This is said by Isshin after giving him some monkey booze, which he says is also known as Shura's wine, most likely for the burning sensation it brings, along with it. Shura is another big point of contention, for me at least. There are many questions that one could ask about Shura, such as, what is it truly, and why was the sculptor being consumed by it? Obviously there are many more questions to be asked about this, but this is what I ended up asking myself when confronted with these notions. Another observation I had, or rather just a fleeting thought, was that did Shura by any chance have a connection to the left arm, or does the power of Shura replace what is lost for the sake of killing? As Isshin severing the sculptor's left arm somehow stopped him from being consumed, but at the same time the demon of hatred also has flames that replace his left arm, which can also be seen in the Shura ending where Sekiro's arm is being wreathed in flames, just as the sculptor's was in the demon of hatred boss fight. After this is all said and done, the main character that I will be focusing on, and most likely others who will make this type of video, will be the sculptor, or as Emma calls him during the purification ending, orangutan. This man has a lot of backstory that explored through his many dialogue options, as well as a lot shrouded in mystery as to why he turns into the literal manifestation of hatred in the last phase of Sekiro's main story. The sculptor, like our protagonist Sekiro, is missing his left arm and is the previous owner of the Shinobi prosthetic, or what Master Dogen called it, the Shinobi Fang. He lost his arm to Isshin Ashina, as he was being consumed by Shura as mentioned before. This is almost comical as Isshin severed the sculptor's arm, and now Gunichiro, his grandson, has severed our left arm. An interesting detail that I noticed was when the sculptor contracts dragon rot after you die a couple times, He claims that no mere dragon rot will kill him, which leads me to believe that similar to Sekiro, he has some sort of supernatural notion about him, like a curse of some sort. The old lady after the Gyobu fight, close to the Tengu of Ashina, says this.
あんたが生き残ったのかい。鬼の行部様もやっと屍になれたかね。けれど何も変わりゃしないよ。戦は続き、屍は積まれ、怨嗟ばかりが満ち満ちる。あんた考えたことがあるかい。そういう怨嗟がどこに積もっていくのかを。ないだろう。ないだろうね。だからこそあんたもあやつも哀れなことだよ。
Play through the rest of the game and the Demon of Hatred appears in the same arena as Gyobu, with dead bodies all around and his flaming hand and red hair, as well as monkey-like stature befitting the title orangutan, stands before you. My point is that I believe the sculptor, through past or present, somehow absorbs the hate that is present around him, and that this siege on Ashina released so much hate and death that it transformed him into a demon that we end up killing. Or releasing, as at the end of the fight, the sculptor thanks us for relieving him of his life, and even begs us to do so. This could also be a case of him having such a horrible past that the siege on Ashina sort of coaxed him into submitting to Shura once and for all. Although this still doesn't explain why he wouldn't be killed by Dragonrot, which is why I think he has some sort of unexplained power or curse that he is unable to get rid of. Perhaps his deep karmic debt that he refers to, and the fact that every Buddha he carves is an incarnation of wrath, also plays a part in his inability to die. Or perhaps the fact that he has done such horrible deeds is the reason he can't die, as in he has to live out the rest of his days attempting to redeem himself, or at least live his life in pain for atonement for his sins. Another whole different aspect of the sculptor's life was his life in the valley where the monkeys dwelled. Here he trained alongside another rogue shinobi, where they clashed sword and one wrong step meant death. He talks about listening to his partner's ring, which would calm his nerves, the malcontent ring, reading, well suited for slender fingers, of which the slender finger is found after the guardian ape fight, implying that whomever this finger belonged to was eaten by the ape. The sculptor reacts when you bring him both the slender finger and the malcontent ring, and this gives a consistency to the stories he tells us, as well as the name of his esteemed partner, the name being the Kingfisher. Another detail of the malcontent ring is once again in the item description, reading, "The weeping voice is full of solitude and beauty, possibly somber enough to temporarily quell a voice of rage." This tells us that whatever made the sculptor into a rage-induced man, and that was nearly consumed by Shura, happened prior to him training with the Kingfisher, as he was calmed by the somber melody of the ring.
酒を持ってきた。
猿酒か。相も変わらず辛い酒だ。だが、これが懐かしい。
よく飲んでいたのか。
猿どもの住む谷。そこで忍び修行をしておった。
一人か。
いや、二人でじゃな。わしらは、はぐれ忍び。まともな死は、もはやおらなんだ。ゆえに、落ちれば死ぬる谷で、ただひたすらにかけ、飛び、刃を交える。そのような修行を重ねた。じき、猿と変わらぬほどには動けるようになったわ。修行に飽きると、わしはこの猿酒を飲んだ。そして、あやつの泣き虫の指笛を聞いた。
泣き虫？
変わった指輪があってな。それをはめて指笛を吹くと、谷に 悲しげな音が響き渡るのじゃ。不思議とわしはその音が好きでな。よう吹いてもらったものよ。
An argument I could see myself putting forward is that if the sculptor was such an angry and raging person, and was so deeply so that he was an inch away from being consumed by rage, then why would he save a little girl on the battlefield? This girl was Emma. To counter this argument, I would say that good people can do bad things, and conversely bad people can do good things. This can also be referenced towards the owl picking Wolf off the battlefield and raising him under the guise that he was a good man. However, we find out through the story that he most certainly is not. However, unlike the owl, the sculptor realized his unsuitability to role modeling, given his apparent history, and allowed Dogen to mentor her and be a father figure. Dogen would go on to be her foster father, and given Emma's caring character and skill set, the sculptor made the best possible choice. Again, perhaps he saved Emma as redemption, or at least to remedy a fraction of his deep karmic debt.
途上物だ。もらうとしよう。実にしみる。やはりこれじゃ。よく道元と飲み交わしたもんだ。エマに釈放してもらってな。
エマ殿と長い付き合いなのか。
ああ、ずいぶん前に戦場で拾った。
戦場。
じーっと握り飯を睨んできてな。面倒だからくれてやった。そしたら何やらついてきてな。それからなんだかんだあって共にアシナに厄介になることになった。道元の養女になったのもその時よ。まあどこだろうが忍びといるよりはよほど幸せじゃろう。
Another observation I had was during the Shura ending, when Sekiro stabs the owl in the back and he looks back to see Shura. The owl has never had a look other than complete confidence on his face, but in that moment he looked truly terrified for the first time that we have seen him, leading me to believe that he may have seen it before, perhaps in the sculptor. As is heard in Ishin's Sake dialogue, he had relations with the owl, but never mentions the sculptor. However, given the fact that he severed his arm, through Ishin's relations with the sculptor, we can infer that the sculptor also had relations to the owl, and perhaps this is why the owl is so terrified of Shura. Another possible reason for the owl's expression when Shura possesses Sekiro is because he didn't predict it. The owl seems to manipulate people a lot, both with the interior ministry, which is largely shrouded in mystery, as well as the wolf himself and most of the world, leading them to believe he was dead. This was all according to his design, which he had planned out, and his confidence in it being largely concrete. But when Sekiro stabs him, he is dumbfounded at his inability to predict this outcome, and is thus rendered speechless and lifeless.
ナイフ殿もこの国ごと食ろうてくれるわ。我武士ゆくんざい。なぜお前がシュラ。
That's enough of the sculptor. Let's talk about Ishin and the Ashina clan. What I find incredibly interesting about the Ashina clan and about Ishin is his disregard for social standing and his total focus on strength and character. In Genichiro's memory, it states that he was born a peasant, and despite this was taken in by the Ashina clan and was mentored by Tomoe and became one of the most capable warriors of Ashina and became Ishin's grandson. In addition to this, Gyobo Oniwa led a band of bandits who was defeated by Ishin. However, Ishin was so captivated by his show of strength that he took him in as an Ashina warrior, who went on to become Genichiro's most trusted retainer. Ishin desired strength and loyalty over anything else in his clan in order to protect it, no matter what form it took, and perhaps the sculptor was one of those people, until he was almost consumed by Shura and he began to indiscriminately kill, ally or not. This is just a theory of mine. Lastly, I want to briefly mention Isshin's title in the final boss fight, Sword Saint, or Kensei, which is also the class played in For Honor. Just a little tidbit there. Kensei is the title given to those with unparalleled skill in swordsmanship, but as you can see in the fight, Isshin can do a lot more than just use a sword, as he uses his pistol and a crossbeard to complement his combat style, running you down in a final attempt to grant his grandson's wish of saving Ashina from those who might destroy her. The remnant of Saint Isshin reads, he wished war until his final hour, and that is precisely what he got. Isshin desired for combat more than anything else, and despite fighting you in the final fight, I wager that he expected and may have even wanted to lose. As mentioned in another one of Isshin's sake dialogues, the only other time he was close to dying was in his battle with Tomoe, Genichiro's mentor. Ashina's fall was inevitable, and I think Isshin just wanted a battle that he could call legendary and go out in a blaze of glory to honor himself and his years of battle. In conclusion, I personally think he will play as a sculptor during the uprising of the Ashin clan before or after his arm was severed by Isshin and play in his monkey-like style, perhaps swinging with his arms instead of grappling. As well as this, if we do play as the sculptor, we'll have a bit more insight into why the sculptor nearly succumbed to Shura, as well as Isshin's rise to being one of the most powerful men in the Sengoku period and the uprising of the Ashin clan as a whole. This could be made possible through the memory mechanic that already exists within the game in the form of the Kind Buddha, which is used to travel to the Hirata estate and relive the memories of the wolf, and the same could be implemented for the memory of the sculptor or the orangutan. And obviously the same could also be said for Isshin or even Dogen. Or it could simply be a continuation of the Dragon's Homecoming ending, where we travel to the west to return the dragon's heritage back to its rightful birthplace, which I also think would be pretty awesome. That's it for this video, guys. I really appreciate it if you watch the whole thing. This is my first time making a scripted video. It took a very long time to write and to make, especially with all the footage. If you enjoy it all, please leave a like and comment if you have the time, as it would really make my day. Leave your thoughts in the comments below and keep the discussion tame, and I'll try to answer all comments. And with that said, have a very nice day.